Hello, everyone. Welcome to Product Panda on the Run. I'm Ishita,
Hi, this is Glauber. How are you?
and today we're going to tackle the question of what do pandas and product managers have in common? So, Glover, do you want to give us some thoughts on that?
Well, there are a couple of things, interesting things, but one of the fun facts that we have about pandas are that pandas eat and sleep. So, so that's basically what I envy them. But in terms
Mm-hmm.
of eating, they eat tons of bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
So think like the bamboo about data, right? And we as product
Yeah,
managers, we actually need data, right? And was one of the
exactly.
things. And not only data, we're talking about the customer insights and many other things that we actually need in order to start doing
Mhm.
our jobs properly. Well, that's the idea, right?
Yeah, totally agree. And I also love that pandas are ecosystem builders because as product managers, we have to make sure that all the different teams and different vessels of the product are working well and are in sync. So that's another thing that I really love about both of these dynamics.
Great. But tell me about a bit about you, Ishita.
Mm-hmm.
What's what's happening? Yeah, over there.
Yeah, well, so I am a product manager and agile consultant. I'm also a professional scrum master. And I essentially use product thinking for all of my services. I run an organization called Creative Vibrations. And essentially, out there, I work with clients to apply product thinking and the product mindset to tailor services that they might need to improve their businesses. And what about you, Glover? Tell us more.
Well, one thing that I know about you is that you're actually living in India, right? You forgot
Mm-hmm.
that specific detail. Well, for
Yeah.
my yeah, look at that. That's important. Well, in my case, as you may remember, I'm living in Barcelona. I'm originally from Peru, senior product manager for many years already, and well, have lived in different countries for so far.
Wow.
So I got gathered experience about projects and how IT is being delivered. Finally, to understand how product management from thinking actually works and help us to deliver value to the customers. Well, let's we'll talk a bit more about us later on because well, it could
Mm-hmm.
be interesting to share our experiences as well. But I would like to ask you something really interesting, Shita, for starters.
Mm-hmm.
What's this podcast about? Do you have any clue?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. So this is our meta adventure. Okay, I love that. The panda cup that you're using. Um, it's a great touch. So, this is our meta adventure where essentially we're trying to apply product thinking to build a podcast about product. And we're taking feedback from our audience, iterating, recreating, and then delivering a product as a podcast. And yeah, this is Glauber and my baby. We kind of came up with it together on one of our mentoring sessions.
Yeah, we're parents of this little panda.
Yeah. um, and yeah, and Glover, do you want to add more?
Well, basically, I have another question for you because I like to
Mm-hmm.
ask. Now, you have to remember, the power of questioning. That's one of the skills
Mm-hmm.
that we need as product managers, right? So,
Curiosity.
yes, exactly. I mean, and I would like to know a bit more about pandas, right?
Hmm.
Why have we chosen that? My memory is a bit blurry, so maybe you can share it with me.
Well,
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, good question. So, panda was an animal that we just kind of connected upon, and it's also something out of the box. So, I still remember on one of our first conversations, Glauber was talking about a product that he built, which had something related to a panda and how essentially using an animal or something a little out of the box can help captivate the audience, right? So if you hear the words Product Panda on the run, the first question is, why is there a panda running, right? So, so that was kind of our thought process behind naming it so. And I think pandas are also both of our spirit animals. So that just kind of adds a little bit of a personalized touch. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts.
Yeah, well, you know, Panda on the Run sounds like a band on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sir Paul McCartney is touring now. You may know that. You should know that, because otherwise I'll be super angry about you, disappointed, not angry. So,
The Beatles.
"Band on the Run" is one of the best songs that Paul McCartney has as a solo artist, and that's something that just catch our imagination. I mean, and
Yeah.
feeds what I have, feeds the fan that I have within me, right? So that's basically what how we came up with the
Mm-hmm.
question. Thank you for to help me to remind me that, right? But now I would like to talk with you about how we end up thinking in applying the pro mindset, to the podcast, because we were just wondering about what we can do with the podcast. We have this
Mm-hmm.
nice dynamic, and actually, fun fact: we haven't met each other, guys.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones who are listening, we haven't seen each other ever.
In
So imagine,
person.
how good this is. Yes,
Yeah, like
but
this is the
let
power of
let me know.
technology.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
But let, let me hear your thoughts. I mean, how can we? How would you define the product mindset for starters? I would like to start there.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question. What I feel the product mindset really is, in essence, is an iterative process. So it's essentially building really quick, delivering really quick, getting feedback, and then recreating, re adding, or changing things to adapt to that feedback. Because essentially, we are creating for our end users, not for profits, not for anything else. It's all about the experience of the person that we're creating for. So our process is to democratize the entire product building process and build directly with people. And that is what we believe, or at least I believe, that the product mindset is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. An interesting point of view for sure. And actually, I agree with you. I would like to add something here because
Mm-hmm.
uh, going back to the basics, right? A product attends a need, a necessity, right? And that's what we're actually looking for, to attend here. So the process that you have described actually aims to do so, and that's a way to deliver some value to the customers, to measure it, try again, enhance it, and go again to the market with the solution, right? So our product here, guys, for the ones who are listening, that I hope are more than one. By the way, hello, mom. Thank you for listening this one. So, for you guys, the what we are looking to build here is to apply the knowledge that we have as product managers, the knowledge that you guys have as audience and product related people, right? The people who are involved in
Mm-hmm.
product deliveries and development, to build a podcast together. So this is the
Yeah.
experiment. This is the meta plan that we have. So we can move forward with this one. What do you think, Shita? Are we on the right track?
I do think so. I feel like with every iteration, Glauber and I have learned a lot. And we're essentially growing as product managers as well, just by building this podcast. So I think including, like apart from just sharing our knowledge with other people, with you, our audience, it's also about both of us growing as people and as product thinkers, and really like pushing our own boundaries to consider non-products as products, right? So it's become a meta adventure for us, like in our day-to-day lives as well, I feel.
Yeah, well, again, if something is giving value, is attending a desire
Mm-hmm.
from some people, and that there is there are consumers aiming to actually get involved and get use this product or this thing. We're talking about a product, right? I mean, a podcast is a product, and many other things
Mm-hmm.
in our daily lives are products. So that's the idea here. So, but again, I'm the one asking questions right now, right? I love it, and
You're
feel
the
free to ask me
curious
questions.
one.
But first, I'm the curious panda. Sure. In fact, I'm growing just the shadows under my eyes, for just to keep the mood here. Now, for the ones who can see us, the ones who are watching YouTube, in sense, I have a little panda there. Have you
Mm-hmm.
noticed? For the ones who are only listening to this, there is a big panda up on my shoulder. So, so be
It's just like
curious.
sitting
Visit
on
us on
top.
YouTube too. Kind of. Well, so again, I will shoot a question, and I hope honest answer from you, Ishita.
Okay.
Tell me about how we have come up with the structure, and what's the structure that we're going to have in this podcast. Yeah. Again, it's
Hmm.
Saturday here. Yeah, my memory is kind of fuzzy.
Wonky.
So well, I cannot say that, but yeah. But maybe you have the answer, and maybe you can tell me and tell us what's was the podcast structure for
Yeah.
this particular first series of the product Panda on the Run.
Yeah, so we're creating this on the run. No, I'm kidding. We're sitting and creating this. But essentially we want to create bite-sized podcasts for our audience. We're going to have short conversations and share our exact iterative process with our audience. And we're also going to have a question at the end with a little bit of a recap so that we can continue the conversation. And we would also love to hear your feedback as our audience, to let us know about what we can do better, what you might want to learn about more. And that's essentially what we're planning to do. And the structure might get iterated as we process the podcast. So keep in touch for that.
Yeah, keep up. I would love to hear you guys for sure. But again, I'm the guy with 1,000 questions here. I do we have any plan yet for how many episodes will we have in this first series?
Yeah, so we're thinking about 4 episodes in the first series, and we might already have a bit of a product journey going on. So we're gonna keep sharing our exact processes through each and every episode. And yeah, Glover and I have like a Notion page. We're using like a Kanban board to kind of track what we're doing. And essentially, it's a product discovery going on where we're doing research, we're understanding our target audience, we've built personas, we've destroyed personas and built new ones. So it's just an
Mhm.
ongoing process where we're discovering as we speak with you and also get your feedback.
Fantastic. I love it. So now we're in the first stage of building this product.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in the product discovery part. So in terms of discovery, first you have to start with an idea, right? As described before, Ishita, we had this idea a couple of weeks ago. Well, say like a month and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
between, we were chatting together. Do you remember we were having these calls? Basically, we were
Yeah.
just getting to know each other, and we came up with this idea that that's. I remember that you were the first one mentioning that I would love to do a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the actual inception. How did you start with this idea,
Of the podcast.
and
So,
why?
okay. So this was actually like a project for me. It was a personal project for me. Like this year, I really wanted
Good.
to build a podcast, and I wanted to build it for different cultures. Something like a place where people across the globe can come together on a common point that they all love, no matter how they look, how they feel, none of that. It's all about like our passions. And initially, I was thinking of doing something about languages, but once I met Glover and we got like super passionate about product thinking, I started thinking about how product thinking is also a language. Product management is also a language. And it like extends across cultures, across countries, across the globe. And yeah, that's how we came up with the idea together. And here we are today on our third iteration for this podcast.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's the way. That's the way to see it. And actually, the reason because I got on board is because I love the idea about communication. As you
Hmm.
may hear, I love to talk, and I say this all the time. Everybody, man, the people who knows me, they but sometimes they say, "Stop, please. Let us talk a bit." So again, there's another skill that we're mm, enhancing for
Yeah.
ourselves. One of the main things that I believe, Ishita, that we have is this will of learning more, will to
Yeah.
reach people, and something that I like about you that you're quite pragmatic and you have
Hmm.
this kind of energy that help us a lot in order to see where we're going. I also had the idea before to just have more presence in the social networks and
Hmm.
to improve my personal brand, as many of you probably are working on right now. And the podcast was one of the things. Obviously, I had just a bird. I barely know how to start a podcast. But since you joined, I said, okay, now I don't have to do it alone. And
Yeah.
this is a really important lesson for us product managers.
Right.
Sometimes we want to come with a solution by ourselves, but we have a network of professionals that can help us. You don't even need to share what's your exact product about. Maybe it just things that we need, some pointers that we need from our product manager fellows. And not only talking about product managers, from different different sectors and from different professions, we can actually get actual feedback and insights about
Hmm.
ourselves, about what we do, and and actually we can apply them not only to for our
Yeah.
work, only for also for our daily lives, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So,
I
well,
totally agree with that. And just to add to that, like, so Glover and I met because I have been like super heavy into the job search as a product manager, and like someone connected us because they thought we would make a good match, and I think it worked out because here we are, like talking pretty much every week, building this product, getting excited about Panda, sending each other like Panda videos every now and then. Um, so, so that has been a really like fun learning experience. And I completely agree about the teamwork. Like, it's honestly one of the best ways to create and not feel lonely, but feel more supported.
exactly, exactly. And for the ones who are already sleeping with our voices, I have a question for you, Ishita, because we're talking a lot about pandas, and we will continue talking about pandas. And guys over there,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't like pandas, run away right now, please, because you're going to suffer here. So, question: What about pandas? Are the pandas aggressive or they're
Hmm.
quiet? Tell me
Yeah.
TikTok.
Well, I hoped that they were just super chill and, that they just slept around all day, but they're actually bears. So they're super aggressive and like super angry. Like they can destroy the forest if they want. I'm glad they don't do that, but they have the option, they have the power. Like they look
Yeah,
fluffy and cute, kind of like product managers who look fluffy and cute, but they can destroy that product if they want.
yeah, that's true. Normally, the pandas are quite docile and they eat and chill, but when cornered and when they feel
Mm-hmm.
danger, like any animal, they are super strong. As you
Mm-hmm.
said, right? Like product managers, when we feel cornered, we are kind
Yeah.
of dangerous.
Yeah. So
Uh,
don't mess with us.
yeah, be careful about it. Fantastic. So let's go back to the product discovery part. So we had this hypothesis, right? We have a product called podcast that will be interesting, like for us. Yeah, so the audience will be people who understand a bit about product, people who might be interested in building products, people who wants to listen to
Mm-hmm.
crazy guys sharing
Crazy
ideas and
about
sharing their
product.
experiences. Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me, Shida, how was the process of validating this idea initially?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How
So
do we start?
wow. Yeah. Like our whole process has been honestly like such a big learning curve so far. Um, so we recorded our very first podcast maybe like 2 or 3 weeks back, and then we sent it to our networks for feedback, where we got like pretty positive feedback, which is why we're still around, and we also received how we can improve it, how what are the things that the users really want. And then also part of the product discovery was talking to our target audience. So I remember going to like a women in product brunch and having a conversation with like a whole table full of product managers, women product managers, and just, understanding what they liked, why they listen to podcasts, would they be able, open to listening to a podcast like this one specifically. And then we started adapting based on that. And then similarly, I think at every party that I go to, the first thing I bring up is that I'm doing a podcast on product and this is the storyline, this is what we're doing. What are your thoughts? Like, that's literally how I open with most conversations at this point. And all of that feedback, speaking to the different people from across the globe, really. Like, spoken to people in Brazil, in Portugal, in Barcelona, and of course in India as well. And we're basically building like a melting pot for product.
And what was the more interesting insight that you have received, the shocking one that you didn't expect?
Hmm.
That's the traumatic pause. That's an interesting thing of communicating. Guys, learn. This girl actually knows how to manage audiences.
What was a crazy insight? I'm actually gonna throw this back
Yeah.
to you, Glover, because I feel like you have something specific on your mind.
Well, I have a couple of things because one of the things that I have here was okay. We don't understand what you're doing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
In our first, when we launched the first clip, the first it was something like 5 7 minutes of audio. I don't remember exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but we're feeling super happy, super confident. We can hear, well, you can hear it, right? I mean, we have this dynamic. But do you remember Shita that we had this back and forth questions,
Mm-hmm.
jokes, and everything, and we were feeling super happy about the result. the feedback came, and one of the key insights were, besides what I have mentioned, what is the podcast about? What you're doing, guys? Second was, guys, probably you need to prepare a script about what you're going to
Oof.
talk about. And
Mm-hmm.
there was, oh wow, that's surprising because do you remember we spent time building a
We,
script?
yeah, we literally wrote it down to a T. Like we had a full like movie script going on with exactly what we were gonna say, who was gonna say what, main topics, subtopics, everything. And then we actually re-recorded using that script. Um, and then when we sent that one for feedback, ironically, like we got the feedback that it was too scripted. So
Yeah, that was surprising indeed.
yeah,
That's shocking. And
exactly.
yeah, so one of the things that I have in my mind is we need we have actually prepared a mural between us,
Hmm.
right, to validate what we are thinking, what's the
Creating.
actual response of the people around, and we are going with you guys, with you listeners, with you beautiful audience.
Hmm.
Who are you? So, following the first step, we are still validating this hypothesis, and this episode is specifically for that. So, give us feedback. Be cruel, but pragmatic, please, and tender if you want at the end.
Like a
But
panda.
man, like a panda, exactly. Like a panda. Yeah, well, I love it. I mean, we can use pandas for everything.
Everything, yeah.
Every single thing. Yeah. Okay. That's great. So let's. I believe we can summarize now what we have so far because we want to start short. Probably the next episodes will be more polished. We will have
Hmm.
a more specific content to discuss. But now we're starting first with our hypothesis. We're explaining to you guys who are the ones who are going to provide us feedback. What is the product Panda on the Run podcast about? And also we are outlining now what we are going to do in the future. So,
Hmm.
next steps. Okay, we're validating our feedback. We have already done three iterations of this, right? We actually had a pilot last week, and we
Hmm.
got a bit of feedback that we're going to share with you guys as well. And the next episode is we're going to actually outline our value proposition, which is really
Yeah.
important. Which are the pains? Which are the gains? Right? And is everything is about talking with people. We want to launch
Hmm.
this in order to get this feedback, and to then move on to actually outline also our user personas, right?
Yeah.
Which will be the audience. And again, Mom, Dad, thank you for joining in. I know that you're going to love this one. I will share the captions as well with you guys, because yeah, you will love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Ishita, so to summarize, what do you think about what we have done so far?
Yeah, I'm very excited by all the growth and discovery that we've already done. I feel like I already know so much more about product um, and about product mindset. What I'm excited to do next is actually check how different industries and roles can also integrate product thinking into their lives. So, apart from just product managers and product people, how can like the fintech guys or I don't know, even like the medical industry integrate product thinking and improve their standards? And that's kind of the trajectory that we're going to be also exploring in our next episodes. So stay tuned and please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast because once we hit 500 followers, Glover is going to dress up as a panda for us. And
Yeah, And for the ones who are only listening, you're going to miss it. But no, we're going to show pictures. No worries. You can
Absolutely.
follow us.
We'll,
Yep.
yeah,
We're on
we'll make
LinkedIn.
it happen.
We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. And we're going to launch clips in Instagram and TikTok. No worries. The Panda dance is coming
Exactly.
up as well. Yeah, you're going to love it. Perfect.
And
Ishita, so, yeah, sorry, go ahead. I don't want to step on your toes. Please.
all good. I also want to reach out and let you guys know that we have a Gmail called productpandaonTheRun@gmail.com. And we would love to hear your feedback there. So feel free to email us. Or, of course, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn or any other platform because we're on everything now. So, yeah, super excited to build with you.
Find us as Product Panda on the Run or Product Panda OTR. Both of
Hmm.
them works, right? I mean, because can it be a bit long? Yeah, or what do you
Exactly.
think, guys? So, as a cliffhanger, we're leaving you with a question. What a panda will do as a product manager in your
Yeah.
office? Kind of
Love
crazy?
that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I will leave you with that thought. Anyway, so this is Glauber Miranda Casanova, broadcasting from Barcelona, a Peruvian guy who loves ceviche, the Beatles, hiking, sailing, playing paddle, and overall I'm enjoying your I'm enjoying sharing this with you guys. Saying thank you very much for listening to us and see you in the next episode.
Thank you. This is Ishita signing off as well. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye, guys.